68 Best Bets live stream. My name is Rob Dauster. That lovely, lovely, lovely gentleman you see right next to me with the Alabama hat on, that is the one and only Jeffrey Goodman. Jeffrey, please explain to the people why you are wearing an Alabama hat.
Roll Tide, first of all, Robert. Roll Tide. I am wearing the Alabama hat because it's been one hell of a 24 hours, actually, for Alabama sports, between the national title in football and then Alabama basketball starting 5-0 in the SEC for the first time in many, many years. But really, I'm wearing the hat because somebody from Alabama saw that I kept wearing a Cal hat and other hats, and they said, will you wear an Alabama hat if I send it to you? And I said, absolutely. And anybody who's watching this lovely Best Bets stream every day, listen, if you want me to wear your hat, send me it. Win a national title or win a big game, and I will wear it the next morning. So right now, if I had like a Citadel hat, for instance, and they beat Furman tonight and they stay undefeated, and I had a Citadel hat, damn right I'm wearing it tomorrow morning.
I would love to see you come on this stream in a Citadel hat. Like, I really would. That would really make my day.
In fact, I might order, if Citadel beats Furman tonight, here's the deal. I will have a Citadel hat soon. I mean, I don't know how quickly I can get it. Either I will purchase it or I will talk to Duger Bobcom about getting me some Citadel gear. How's that?
Yeah, I think we need to make it happen. Okay. We need Citadel gear. That's your team. That's your squad, even though you bet against them the other day.
Could be. I mean, if they – listen, can they cover 14?
Oh, man, I don't know. So I think that we also both of us need to kind of make our apologies and let people know that we've come to our senses. I was wrong about Alabama. I never should have made fun of Nate Oates. I never should have made fun of his program. They're really, really good. Like legitimately best team in the ACC and the SEC quality. I think they're going to be there the whole season long. I think that this team has the talent to be a threat to get to the final weekend in the NCAA tournament. They're really, really good. And you, I've
done this. Listen, I've done. It's like taking a bath right now and just cleansing myself because I've done this multiple times now in the last 24 hours. I did it with Hummel last night. I said I was wrong about Michigan. I completely effed up. And I've got Michigan. I'm coming out with my top 25 here after we get done with the very, very, very high. And they beat a team, Rob, that was a legitimate I don't know if they're Final Four Wisconsin, but they're a legitimate top 10 team, and they beat the living hell out of them.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin does not get blown out, and they were down by 40. They were down by 40.
36-3 run. Insane.
There was one point in the game when the score was very nice 69-29 in the second half. But they were down 40. Wisconsin, they haven't lost by more than 20 points since 2018. Brendan Quinn tweeted out this stat the other night, and I think it's been 4 times since Bo Ryan got hired that they've lost by 20 points, and they were down by 40.
Wow.
40. Wow. They were down by 40. It was just an absolute beatdown. So we're not going to do too much recap stuff on this stream today. I did a live stream last night with Deshaun Butler right after the games. We had a little post-game show. And Jeff on his podcast and his stream. You can find that coming out later today with Robbie Hummel. They broke down the games as well. So we have all of that recap content for you elsewhere. You can find it in the podcast feeds. You can find it on the YouTube channel. You can find it anywhere. You'll find the streams on Periscope, anywhere we streamed it. So you can get all that stuff there. Trust me, we talked about all of that stuff plenty. Here, I want to talk about tonight's games. There are actually 3 lines that I love, but two of the lines are from the same game. I love a side and a total in one game. And I want to see if you can guess who they are, which lines that I like.
You're just going to make me guess randomly what lines you like.
I think that you should like this one too, because the team that you despise and you've been betting against the entire season long is laying points tonight.
Team that I despise. Oh, I love it. No, I already put it in. I put it in like when I woke up this morning. It was the first thing I did, and I may just honestly, I may just keep adding to it every hour, all day. Like, maybe I'm going to be wrong.
Is it Auburn? Are you betting on Auburn?
Yes. Auburn.
Yes.
Of course it's freaking Auburn. Like,
oh man.
Like, honestly, I already put it in, and now I'm so excited. I'm gonna put some more in.
Yeah, I'm gonna put another bet in.
I don't know what to do with myself
because you said it.
Like,
here's the funny thing about that is when I woke up this morning, like my habit has kind of been since there are a lot of times the lines won't be out or won't be available on the app that I use to bet on.
Right.
And so I'll wake up in the morning and I'll go and check and see what the lines are. It's kind of what, like my workflow is. I think that means you're a degenerate. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, but I did that. Degenerate anyway.
I did that this morning, and I was like, yes, when I saw that Auburn was getting points, and my wife was like, "What are you celebrating at 10:30 in the morning in bed? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't want to know."
Like, honestly, who? I feel like that's. I hope it's not one of those sucker lines. I pray that just because Sharif Cooper came back, they haven't really started to readjust. And the question will be, too, and I haven't talked to Bruce Pearl or anybody at Auburn yet whether Powell is going to play or not. But, man, if he plays, too, whew. So anyway, the line is Auburn getting a point at Georgia. Stegman Coliseum, going to be rocking tonight. Rocking.
Yeah. So I the logic for me is pretty simple. One, Jeff has been saying this all season long. Georgia's not very good. You want to fade Georgia. You want to bet against Georgia. We get all that. But for me, I really think that we're going to have a window here where we can buy low on Auburn because what they've been missing all season long has been a creator. They have the finishers. They have the shot makers. They have the lob catchers. They have talented guys that can finish a play if it gets created for them. And Sharif Cooper is as good as any point guard in the country when it comes to just creating something, making something happen, coming off a ball screen and hitting a shooter in the corner with a live dribble, one-handed lefty frozen rope, getting into the lane, drawing two defenders, and throwing a quick little lob to somebody at the rim. Like he's very, very, very good at that stuff. And Auburn has the guys that can finish those plays, whether or not Justin Powell is playing. So I love.
You know what it is, too? Here's what it is for me is like Georgia's best player is Wheeler, their point guard, in my opinion. And they really didn't have an answer for him without. Now they not only have an answer, but they've got a guy that nobody can stay in front of. Like, I love Wheeler. I thought Wheeler, honestly, last year, he should have been the guy who played 35 minutes, had the ball in his hands all the time, let Anthony Edwards play off the ball. They didn't do that enough. Now it's kind of his team. And I just think, again, Sharif Cooper is a guy that even Wheeler's going to have a lot of trouble staying in front of. Like, I don't know too many guys that are going to be able to stay in front of Sharif Cooper, period.
Yeah. So I also love the over in this spot for a couple of reasons.
So you said that. It's a little bit higher than I thought it would be, though. No?
It's moving. It's moving in the right direction. So like we're if you get it now, then you'll probably beat the closing line. And the reason I like it is because I think with Sharif Cooper there, obviously Auburn's going to be much better offensively. Obviously, I think they can play a little bit faster than what they have been playing already this season. And Georgia is top 15 in the country in tempo. Like Georgia wants to get up and down. They want to run. They're giving up a lot of points. They're not really playing all that much defense. So I also have a bet in on Auburn money line parlayed with the over. So I got a lot of action on that game. I feel really good
about it. That game front and center tonight. Like that's your game tonight.
That's my game tonight. Yep. So the other line that I really, really like, the other game is Texas Tech. And
you like Texas Tech?
I do.
Ooh, I like Texas on this one.
So to me, this just feels like such like quintessential letdown spot for Texas. I mean, look, they played pretty badly on the road at West Virginia. They should have lost that game if West Virginia made free throws and didn't make mistakes down the stretch. I think that Texas was down 7 with like a minute and a half left. And like credit for them for coming back and winning. But those are spots where I like to try to find ways to fade that team in the next game, especially when what happens after that game is cancer survivor on your roster makes a game-winning three. Like emotional outpouring for a game like that.
I'm not buying it. Here's why. I'm not buying it. Is because these guys at Texas have been getting their asses kicked for the last few years. And what have they been hearing about in the state? Baylor and Texas Tech over and over and over. They're really good now, Texas. They have more talent, clearly, than Texas Tech, right? Clearly more talent. Up front, they're way better up front. I think you can make a case they're better. They're better in the backcourt. They're better everywhere.
They have. I think they have. Like, and even that.
Texas Tech's better than Texas.
I mean, they're. I would argue that they're better coached, and their defense is something that is more difficult to prepare against. But it's not like there's better talent on the roster. But I'm not betting on the talent. I'm betting on college kids that just. Yeah, it's just it feels like a letdown spot for me. Now here's the thing. So when I went through this process and I was like, yeah, I think we need to be on Texas Tech in this spot, I was expecting that line to be 4.5 or 5 or somewhere like that because it was exactly that's what the KenPom had. I believe 5 yesterday, and then I woke up this morning and it's now POM has it at 4. But so at 2.5, like I'm a little bit more.
Who's Texas Tech beaten so far?
Trust me. I get what you're saying, but I really do think
supporter of Chris Beard than me. Like, can we make that clear? Is there anybody who has been more complimentary?
You're right.
Chris
I'm
Beard?
not. All I'm saying is that what I look for. One of the things that I try to do is find spots like this where Texas is coming off of an emotional win where they didn't play great. They also didn't play great in their win at Iowa State before that. So they've kind of been I don't want to say they've been figured out, but I think they're still riding a little bit high based off of the performance that they had against Kansas. And they haven't played great in their last 2 games, and now they're going up against a top 15 team that's really, really well coached with a guy who might be trying to audition for that Texas job if it ever ends up opening up. So trust me, everything that you're saying makes sense, which is why I have not put in. I have 3 bets in on the Auburn game already. I have not put in a bet on the Texas Tech game, but it just feels like that is the spot where you want to fade Texas. But I mean, Vegas beat us to it, man. They're sharp. They're thinking the exact same thing that I am.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm taking Texas in this one. I think they're the better team. Could it come down to a last second shot? Sure. I think it will be a close game. I like Texas here.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for a little bit more time. I'm going to wait to make a decision. So follow me on the BetSperts app. If you guys don't have the BetSperts app, go and download that. Follow me on it. And at some point this afternoon, I'm going to make a decision on where I want to be on that game. Maybe I'll do
what I'm going to do on BetSperts later too. Here's the thing for everybody listening. There's certain ones that we feel good about now. And then as information comes in, obviously that's going to dictate what we do later. Now, yesterday I actually it backfired with me, Rob, because when I heard that when Winston Tabbs wasn't playing for BC, that's when I put in my Miami. Yeah, that's when I threw in Miami, and man, they got smacked.
The bottom finally fell out for Miami. It was coming eventually. Like, they were playing so well, so far above their head. I really hope that team gets healthy.
Yeah, I will. It's too late, even if they do. But
because they can still go out. Like, if they get Chris Likes and Cam Augusta,
they can win the ACC tournament.
They can win the ACC tournament. Like, there's that league stinks, man.
Yeah. You're right. Well, all right. Chris, speaking of that league, couple in that league I kind of like today. I like Louisville giving 8 at Wake. I do. I think Wake stinks. I don't think they're very good. They miss so much time, so much practice time. And Louisville's finally getting healthy. I don't know if Charles Minlin's playing today. I'll find that out here in a bit.
That's what I was just going to ask you, is who is back for Louisville now?
The key one is Malik Williams, and he's not back.
He's not going to be back. Right. But if Carlik Jones and David Johnson are there, then I actually do like that line quite a bit. Wake Forest is it's also come down. It's at 7.5 now. It's also Wake Forest. Like, I did not realize this until I watched when I was watching the Duke Wake Forest game on Saturday. Wake Forest is starting a kid named Carter Witt, who was a senior in high school for the first semester.
Right.
He graduated early, enrolled at Wake Forest, and now he's starting at Wake Forest.
No, crazy. Yeah,
have you seen this kid play? Have you seen him play?
No, not yet.
He's got like hair down to the middle of his back. He looks like Brendan Fraser's character from Airheads.
Come on.
Yes, he got hair to the middle of his back.
All right, I'll watch. I'll check out some of that game tonight. The other game I like in the ACC a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait here and see. And I kind of like Florida State, giving 4 against NC State at home. I feel like Florida State at some point is going to start to figure things out. NC State just worries me because of their point guard play. I don't think it's good enough. Florida State's in Tallahassee, giving 4. It's an early game on ACC Network. I don't know. I feel like, again, Florida State's not what they were, but I don't know. Scotty Barnes, like they're going to figure it out.
It's tough for me to buy into this Florida State team right now. Like, I need to see it, but I've kind of made it a point to not bet on NC State ever. The one thing I will say is, like, NC State only plays close games. Like, they don't get run out of the gym. So if you're going to give me 4 points in that spot, I do kind of like it, but it's a pure stay away from me, because if you just, I think this is probably why. If you just look at it based off of the rosters and how they match up, I think you got to be on Florida State, because, like, basically what Florida State makes you do is kind of win one-on-one, right? And when you don't have a great point guard and you don't necessarily have a great playmaker, that's not an ideal matchup. But, like, Florida State's they have not been consistent. It's not something that I want to buy into. What about Notre Dame is getting 10 points at Virginia today in a game where the total is 124. It's a lot of points. Notre Dame's been playing well. Virginia doesn't pull away from people. Right. They're not blowing people out. I kind of like Notre Dame there, but again, like, I don't like, no part of me wants to be betting on Notre Dame. I don't want to bet on any of these teams in the ACC. I feel like I don't have a feel on any of them.
I know. It's hard, and Virginia's beaten nobody. I mean, that's my deal with Virginia. Like, anybody who's got Virginia ranked right now, and maybe they'll get there, but, like, their resume is kind of laughable to rank them at this point, right? We're in mid-January. I get that it's not apples and apples, that, you know, you've got teams that have been shut down and not played as many games, Virginia being one of them. But ultimately, I mean, Virginia's resume is, again, they played here 9 games now. They've lost to San Francisco. They lost to Gonzaga by a lot. They almost lost to Kent State in overtime. They beat them. And their best wins, I mean, their 3 ACC wins so far, Rob, have been Notre Dame, Wake, and BC. Like, those could be 3 of the bottom 5 teams at the end of the day in the ACC. So, like, their best win is at Notre Dame so far this year. How can you rank that team? Like, you can't. Like, you can't. Like, it just – I don't know if they're any good. I mean, I have faith in Tony Bennett, of course. He's an elite-level coach. But as we've talked about, like, Kihei Clark he's a great piece. He's a great 5th guy, but you better have 4 dudes around him that can really, really score the ball. And on some days they look like they do, and on other days, if Jay Huff and Hauser aren't making shots, they look like I'd probably take the 10 here. I'd probably take the 10.
Yeah, I would too. I don't love it. Like, honestly, there's one game that I love, and I think I might just get all my action in for the day on that Auburn-Georgia matchup. 2 more that I did want to ask you about, and then we can get out of here. First is Arkansas at LSU. Arkansas is getting 1.5. The money line is plus 104. The total there is 159. I kind of like Arkansas to get that done.
I just don't. Again, I think Arkansas is the better team. LSU kind of. Now, again, it depends on Cam Thomas, I think, and how healthy he'll be if he plays. I think he's a game-time decision. He's banged up. I don't trust either team. Is that fair to say at this point? I certainly don't trust LSU. I don't know what to expect, and
I think Arkansas is
going to be good.
I think they're good. I think you can trust them. Like their two losses, Missouri is kind of like Illinois in that they're very predictable in when they're going to have success based off of certain matchup indicators. Like if they can run their ball screens, then they're going to be able to have success. And if they can't run ball screens, then they're not going to have success. And then Arkansas lost to Tennessee by 5 at Tennessee. Like they were up for a lot of that game. They played really well. They looked really good at Tennessee. They just happen to lose, and it happens when you're on the road against teams that are very good. The Cam Thomas thing. What did he do? He played 4 minutes against Ole Miss. What was it, an ankle? I don't even remember what he did.
Yeah, I'll find out if he's playing or not. I think it's game time though, so I don't even think we'll find out right now. I'm not sure they know for sure right now whether he's going to play. Hold on one sec.
I'm going to do a quick Twitter search and see if we can get an answer.
While you do that, I'll give you one of my.
Yeah, it's a game time decision, which I kind of think no Sharif O'Neal. I kind of think that probably means he's going to play. I think it's just like a pain. If it's a pain tolerance thing, then there's ways they can kind of make it so that you can tolerate the pain. So I think either way. If Cam Thomas is even hobbled, I really do like Arkansas in that spot. I'm all over the small underdogs on the road today. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. The last game, DePaul at Georgetown. DePaul's getting to. I kind of feel like we need to be on DePaul in the spot, right?
Yeah, I feel like Georgetown's that team you fade, right? I mean, DePaul's definitely more talented. I think Georgetown isn't very good. I'm not sure I can name more than a couple players for the Hoyas this year. So ultimately, I hate betting on DePaul, but they're going to get their wins. They're going to get a few. I mean, they still got a guy who's a fringe NBA guy in Romeo Weems. They got Charlie Moore, who, I mean, what year is this? Like number 8 for him in college basketball?
No, 17. He played on – you don't remember? He played on Bill Self's national title team. He was Mario Chalmers' backup point guard.
I mean, Javon Freeman.
You know what? This is a true story. I swear, this is a true story.
What do you got?
I was talking with Jeff Hawkins, who hosts our Kansas podcast, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, which you listen to, is very good.
Yep.
And he was saying that when he was a sophomore at Kansas back in 2003, he actually hosted Charlie Moore on his recruiting visit
No way.
to Lawrence. Yeah, Charlie Moore and Perry Ellis were in the same high school class. Yeah. He graduated in 1976.
Oh man. Anyway.
Oh man. That's how you know I don't have enough sleep. Is I just did a minute and a half bit on Charlie Moore being old.
You're an absolute.
Hey, you and my wife agree on that. All right. I think that's, what do you got?
I'm going to take Wofford. Give him 5 at VMI.
Okay.
VMI had a short pause. They just came off it the other day. They haven't played in about a week, but they haven't been able to practice for about 4 days within that time period. I get Mike Young's no longer at Wofford, but I think Jay McCauley, they're not new, but fairly new head coach. I think they'll get VMI, the Keydets. I think they'll get them and get them by more than 5. So I'm taking Wofford there. Like that one.
I like it. So my official picks are I'm taking the Auburn money line. I'm doubling down on it. Mitchell, put me down for 2. Give me 2. Give me 2 on the Auburn money line.
2.
Give me 2. Give me 2 on the Auburn. I'm all in. I'm going to take the over in Auburn, Georgia, and I'm going to follow you on Louisville. And here's what else I'm going to do because I'm feeling a little bit frisky today. I am going to parlay the Auburn money line, the Arkansas money line, the DePaul money line, and the Texas Tech money line. And I'm going to bet that at plus 1,700, which means if you bet $10, you can win $173.10.
All right, good for you.
I'm getting frisky with it, Jeffrey.
All right, I'm going to follow you on Auburn too, and double down on it on the money line. I'm going to go over as well. I'm going to go Louisville. I'm going to go. You're going Texas Tech, aren't you? I mean, we spent 10 minutes arguing on that.
I just have them. I have them in the parlay that I put together. I haven't decided. Follow me on BetSperts, and you'll find out whether or not I'm going to be on that.
That's fine. I'm going to go Texas. I'm going to go VMI, and you're not doing Notre Dame. You waiting?
No,
I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna wait on that. So I got 5. 2 on Auburn. The over. That's 3. Louisville, Texas, VMI. They're in my 6 for today.
Boom. There you go. You got it, folks. Happy betting. Go download the BetSperts app. Follow us on BetSperts.